Afternoon, fellow Nigerians and fellow subscribers to many grants in Nigeria and expectants of a UAAG grant. Good morning to you all. I'm coming your way this morning, the 3rd day of March, year 2023, to address a few issues. I am your friend and brother, AKIM SOLA JOSHIA. The past few days I've received calls across the nation from Nigerians and expectant grant beneficiaries. They have been calling me what's happening, especially when the promise of before election disbursement failed. And now we are after the presidential election. So they are asking what's happening, what's going on. Some will say, is there still hope? Some people will ask, is Apostle still in charge? There's so many questions. By God's grace, this morning, I will give you what I understand as what is going on. And if you follow me very well, you will still reason with me. From my observation and from the way I study the body language of the government, it's like the government is tactfully delaying the disbursement till after election. If you remember, we were promised that it will happen before election. Yes, but it didn't happen. See, there are some words that are not spoken in words, but in action. That's why they say action speaks louder than words. If you read somebody's body language very well, you know what he's saying more than what he actually says with his mouth. So, from the body language of the government, because it is the government that will give Apostle Ken go ahead to disburse. Since they have not given him go ahead to disburse, he cannot disburse. The money is in government custody with CBN. All right. So if they don't give him the go ahead, they cannot disburse. So the body language of the government is that they are trying to shift it till after election. Why? Because if you observe, they bring in some policies, before the election, which reduces, cash flow in the system. Their target was to ensure that there is minimal cash flow in the system during election, especially the presidential election, and it was a success. Even though it was painful, so people couldn't get their money. People are suffering here and there, but they succeeded in reducing cash flow during the time of election. And since they did that for presidential and National Assembly election, definitely they may want to do the same thing for the gubernatorial or governorship election. So going by that, I will advise us to zero our mind till after election. However, if it happens before the governorship election, fine and good. But from the body language, from my observation, I would advise us to expect it after governorship election. The money withdrawal from circulation or naira scarcity really brought a lot of pain to many of us. But however, there are some benefits that came out of it. One, it reduces the rate of vote buying. I knew some people that told me that they are going out to vote on the day of election because of the money they were promised. I said, they said yes. So, okay. So, but some people went to go and vote and they came back and said, they didn't give them any money. I said, oh. See, which means an average Nigerian believe that during the time of election, he has something to say, which is his vote. But this policy reduce, the opportunity to buy votes. So if you voted, there's what money they didn't give you. So one of those things. Then two, the naira scarcity has also brought down the price of some goods. If you observe, the other time I learned that the price of beans came down from 40-something thousand to 30-something or so. And somebody have to pay in advance for one or two bags. Why? Because even the 30-something, are people seeing the cash to buy it, except by transfer. So sales went down, automatically, and that forced the price of some things to come down, which is anti-inflation. All right. So that is the second benefit that came from the policy, even though it is painful. And the third benefit that I see there is that it has cut down the rate of some crimes. The rate of some crimes that's affecting me and you. The policy that the government put in place have reduced certain crimes. If you think very well, right? Okay, robbery, for instance. So where a young man used a toy gun to hold a young lady at gunpoint to surrender her cash, and they said, "Where do you see cash in Nigeria? Are you not in Nigeria?" So before a thief will think of robbing you now, he knows that there's no cash. All right. Even if he forces you to transfer your money to his account, and how is he going to cash it? And at that point, you'll be traced, you'll be identified. Thieves don't want to be traced. All right. But once you make a transfer, you'll be traced. You know who robbed you. So that really helped to cut down the rate of some crimes. So while we are in pain, or while we are expecting disbursement, while it is delayed because of this government policy, I want us to think of the good effects of it. So we shouldn't be too angry, please. Let us calm down with the government. Let us allow them the period of election. After election, everything will be normalized. They have a bigger goal, to achieve. So I believe after the election, everything will be okay by God's grace. I'm not saying it won't come before governorship election. No, I'm not saying so. But in case it does not come, just zero your mind that after election, everything will be all right. That is my own understanding and observation of what is going on. The good thing is that the money is available, right? The money is available and it is in government custody, all right? And it's released in due time. If anybody says there's no money in Nigeria, the person doesn't know what is happening. There is money, big money, all right? What's the name? The name of it, as we know, is United Alliance African Grants. Okay? From where? From UN to African nations, starting with Nigeria. The money is not for Nigeria alone. No. It is from United Nations to African nations, starting with Nigeria. Right? Who arranged for the money? It is the product of the efforts of Professor Abraham Ogere and Edo Prof, who is now late, of blessed memory, who processed the one we want to collect now for us. It is late Beatrice Odudu, aka Mama Rita, of blessed memory, in conjunction with Apostle Ken, as we learned. All right. So let us relax our mind. The money is there for disbursement. The government is just trying to take their time, to ensure that certain things are put in place. So I advise all to calm down and wait. Latest by after election, then everything will be all right by God's grace. So this is my observation, and what I say. Let me come and share with us. Let us keep fit. Let us keep healthy. Everything will be all right by God's grace. Till I come your way again, I am your friend and brother, AKIM SOLA JOSHIA, aka Mr. Shalom. Remain blessed.